Hey, everybody, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, a disgruntled DVC member finds a unique way to deliver his feelings to Disney. Changes are coming to some popular buffet restaurants at Walt Disney World, and here's a hint, they're not good. And the Chinese government is imploring their people not to crap in the flower beds around Shanghai Disneyland. All that plus this week's Roundtable Rapid Fire and details on how you could win a 5-day, 4-night Magic Your Way package to Disneyland. All coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 888 for the week of June 7th, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Julie Martin.
Hi.
Back in the production nook, our associate producer, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
Along with our producer, Mr. Craig Williams.
Hello.
And great to be with you guys. Hope you're having a good week so far. It's been very rainy here in Orlando, thanks to Tropical Storm, whatever the hell it was called.
Colin.
I like that better.
Colin.
It's not Colin.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain dumped on us.
Should hear the frogs at my house. They are going crazy.
Yeah. So, but good to be with you. A couple things that we want to talk about in housekeeping. First of all, yesterday started our Disneyland event for the month of June, as I've been mentioning for the last few weeks. Every Monday through the month of June, we're going to be releasing a show and a whole bunch of content surrounding Disneyland. This week we're focusing on Disneyland's 60th anniversary, and we put up a video of the fireworks. We've put up video of Paint the Night, the New World of Color, some other things that are up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/DizUnplugged, if you want to check it out. Next Monday, it's all about dining at Disneyland. The June 20th, that Monday, is Disneyland Attractions. And June 27th, Tips from Locals, how to get the most out of your Disneyland vacation. And each week, we just got a ton of video going up. But we are also giving away lots and lots of prizes. I'm going to give one away in a few minutes. It's not going to be the trip to Disneyland, so cool your jets. But I do have a really cool prize to give away. We figured for the first random one, I do something nice. But if you're interested in winning one of the two 5-day, 4-night Magic Your Way packages to Disneyland that we're giving away, courtesy of Dreams Unlimited Travel, then there are two ways for you to do that. Number one, you can post a photo of your favorite Disney memory on Twitter or on the official Diz Facebook page on Facebook using the hashtag #SendMeToDisneyland. And randomly, we will be drawing one person from who uses that hashtag at the end of July, and we will award that person a 5-day, 4-night Magic Your Way package to Disneyland. And we'll be announcing that on our 10th anniversary show, which is July 25th. We'll be doing that live at the Cirque du Soleil Theater in Disney Springs. Now, the other way that you could win one of these trips is each week during our event, we are releasing 2 trivia questions. One goes up on YouTube, youtube.com/DizUnplugged. The other one is on the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged, which goes up on iTunes every Monday. And then keep track of your answers. At the end of the month, we will let you know where you can submit your answers. We will select one person at random from all the correct answers received, and that person will also receive a 5-day, 4-night Magic Your Way package to Disneyland. So 2 chances to win. Hashtag #SendMeToDisneyland on Twitter and Facebook with a picture of your favorite Disney memory, or answer a couple of trivia questions every week for the month of June, and you might win that way as well. But as I said, we are also giving away a bunch of random prizes throughout the month. So if you go to wdwinfo.com/Disneyland, first of all, you can find all of the content we're releasing on that one page, plus all the details on the contests. But you can also sign up for random prizes, as did Mr. Anthony DeVanzo. He did that yesterday. He signed up, and his name was drawn at random just a little while ago by Mr. Corey Martin himself. And we're going to be reaching out to Anthony and giving him a Mickey Mouse Pirates of the Caribbean Here's Poochie canvas print, framed canvas print by artist Darren Wilson. This is a $175 value, and yours courtesy of Dreams Unlimited Travel just for signing up. We're going to be doing this at random throughout the month. All sorts of different prizes. They're not always going to be this. Sometimes they'll be a little smaller. Sometimes they'll be different. But we're going to just be doing all sorts of random prizes throughout the month. Get everybody excited about Disneyland. I'll tell you, it doesn't take much to get me pumped up about Disneyland. I love it. We had such a great trip out there in April. And I've been saying for a couple months now, because I've been seeing the raw footage of what we filmed and how good it was and how excited I was to see it. And then I got the most amazing gift on Sunday when I was just finished feeding my family lasagna dinner, and I get a little text saying, "Check this out." And Craig put together something what we call a sizzle reel for our 60th anniversary show that we put up yesterday, and I am so amazingly proud of this video. He did such a cool job, and I want to go ahead and share that with you now. So go ahead and take a look at Craig's 60th anniversary video.
Just think, all of this is yours, forever. Come on and live the magic.
Unbelievable.
Gave me goosebumps.
It gives me.
Me too, Kathy. I was
Yeah.
like, is it cold or is it me?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I probably watched that video about 10 times, and it gives me goosebumps every time. Such a great job on that, Craig.
Thank you very
Everybody
much.
did a phenomenal job.
It was okay.
Nice.
I liked it better than Cats.
I did. It was actually really great. Good job.
Thank you.
Everybody did a great job. We had such fun. I watched that, and like all I feel is like I want to go back. I want to go back. Love it out in Disneyland. if you haven't been out there, please follow along with us this month and check out all the stuff we're going to talk about. Got a lot of great content coming out, and just trying to convince everybody head out there. We love it, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I can work out the time to get back out there again, especially before the 60th ends. 60th ends in September, and so I want to check this stuff out again. You were just out there. Mm-hmm. You had a good time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she's wearing a shirt.
Yes. There's just something, I mean, I love that I live by Walt Disney World, but there's just something special about going to Disneyland. And if you haven't gone, go.
Well, I think part of it for me is that it's that, like when I lived in New Jersey and would come here, this was my vacation destination. Now I live here. Mm-hmm. Not that I don't appreciate it and love it, I do. But,
different.
that's something I have, that's not in my backyard. That's something I can only go to once or twice a year.
There's also the idea that when we go there, we go on vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, we are working. We're always working. But it's also, you're not home. You're not worried about your house stuff. You're actually staying in a hotel. So it feels more like a vacation. When
Exactly.
Plus, it's for me, it's like where it all started. And it's like, I've said this before. It's like I can almost feel Walt or see Walt walking down the street. It's just.
But those are your mental issues.
Well,
You see
yes,
dead
yes.
people.
Kathy, I agree.
She's a
I've
drinker.
always said that it's more magical for me there too. I've only been, I think, twice. The last time I was pregnant. So I did tell Corey that for next summer I want to plan a trip with our kids. They
they'd
love to
love
fly, so I think they're old enough to make that longer journey and make it a true family vacation. Because even at
Yeah.
Walt Disney World, like you said, if you have a pet or whatever's going on, it's still sort of in the back of your mind that you're still home,
still home,
even
yeah.
if you're on Walt Disney World property.
Right,
Whereas
exactly.
in Disneyland, you forget about all
Julie,
that.
you guys should do that and then go out to Alani.
Well, I want them to be a little bit bigger for that trip. Like, doing the double trip.
Yeah, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to get out about our Disneyland stuff. Remind everybody about our other shows, other Dis Unplugged shows. Yesterday, the Dreams Unlimited Travel Show released their first Disneyland show.
We did. Deborah Lopez joined us, and she talked about booking a Disneyland stay, specifically focusing on the Disneyland hotels and Disneyland packages. And then next week, we're going to talk about Good Neighbor hotels and Good Neighbor packages.
Awesome. Of course, every Monday, disunplugged.com and on iTunes, you can check out the Disneyland edition of the Dis Unplugged with host Tom Bell and his team. This week, Michael Bowling continues his celebration of Disneyland's 60th with part 2 of Disneyland After Walt, which is a look at some of the events and changes that happened in Disneyland in the 1970s. So check that out on iTunes or on disunplugged.com, where you can find all of our shows. Of course, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live, disunplugged.com, the Universal edition of the Dis Unplugged, with Craig Williams, Rhino Clavin, and Oliver Green. And Craig, what are you talking about this week?
I have no idea right now because Rhino, I thought Rhino was leaving on Friday to go to California, and apparently he's leaving on Thursday. So that means we have to pre-record tomorrow, and I wasn't prepared for that. I was ready to go out to the parks on Wednesday to get some content.
I'll sit in with you on Thursday if you want to do it live, because Oliver and I have our theme park day tomorrow, and I really don't want to miss that.
Okie dokie.
So here, we just figured that out.
Okay.
And I'll yell about something at Universal.
That works.
Maybe what Oliver and I will do tomorrow for our theme park day is we'll head over there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I can join you after the fix.
No, I don't want you there.
Okay, I will.
It's too bad I didn't leave earlier. I could have lived in from Hollywood.
You could have lived
Lived?
in.
What?
Lived in. Well, forget it.
Why is he even here?
He's really turned into Aunt Clara. Hasn't he?
Yes, he's Aunt Clara.
Is that from Bewitched?
Yes, it is. Clara. It's funny because it's true. And of course, every Friday-ish, Diz Pop with Rhino and Oliver, but mostly Rhino.
Yeah,
And what? Well, in every shot, Rhino is in the foreground, Oliver's in the background.
Got to make sure they know where they stand. I choreograph
That's
all
why
of
they
our-
call them backup singers. Back up.
Kevin gets it.
So what are you doing this week?
Well, I made this last episode a little bit longer and supersized because I don't think there'll be a video episode this week until Monday or Tuesday.
Like I said, Friday-ish.
Yeah, ish. Because I'm gonna collect. I might do something while I'm in Disneyland and turn that into a Diz Pop episode. But there'll be an audio only movie review for sure. This coming out this week, so you'll get a little taste of this, a little taste of that.
What movie?
Pop Star. Never stopping.
So you run out.
It's
There's no more movies to review.
well, the Disney movies. We're in a lull between Finding Dory and everything, so we thought we'd toss it over to the Universal side and show them some love too. So, yes, lots to look forward to.
All right, and finally, just want to remind everybody about our Mega Meet 10th anniversary weekend coming up July 22nd through the 26th, culminating with our big 10th anniversary show at the Cirque du Soleil Theater in Disney Springs on July 25th. You have like
2 days.
2 days to sign up.
June 9th, we're going to cut off signups. I apologize. I know people would like more time to do it. We have to get credentials made. We have to get final lists to Disney and all that stuff. So June 9th, please make sure you've signed up. You have to sign up in advance on the website. And also, I want to make sure people know that on June 21st, they'll be closing down the group space we've saved at the Disney resorts. So if you're looking to book a room, you got to do that by June 21st, or else there won't be any more resorts for you.
Well, if they book the room, but they can't register, do they automatically get registration if they book the room?
They do not. There are people who have already signed up who are still on the fence about where they're going to stay.
Okay.
So if you're on the fence about where you're going to stay and you're thinking about...
You're not
booking
going to
everything-
find. I'm telling you, we're not. The prices are so good. We're not allowed to disclose what they
Exactly.
are. I'm not kidding. That's how good the prices are. We are not allowed, by contract, we are not allowed to disclose the prices.
Yep.
But they're really, really good. And so, yeah, please.
Yep. And that's going to close June 21st. That's Disney's rule, not ours. They have to close out the group. So please make sure you sign up.
All right.
And I also know that people are waiting for some more details. I apologize. We're working on everything. As soon as we have anything finalized, we'll make sure you know about it. It's just how things work.
And
But
we're
you know,
still looking for auction items. If you have any, contact Teresa or I.
We've squared away the fact that we've got space for our silent auction. Teresa and Kathy are both going to run that, so make sure you get in touch with those guys to get your items over there.
and we're going to, the team is all deciding on what they're going to do in the parks. We're going to be having all these meets in the parks and around property. And we are trying to work on, we're trying to finalize a special event for one night, but
Yeah, we're working on it. We promise. I also want to remind folks too that this is for Give Kids the World. We're raising money for
Right.
Give Kids the World. So if you're looking to put some kind of meet together, let's try to make sure there's a way to raise money for that. If you don't know what to do or how to do it, contact me, john@dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. I'll give you ideas.
I'm going to jump on to the end of that. I've been asked to remind folks that in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, next Saturday, this coming Saturday? When's next Saturday? I got this today.
The 10th or the 17th?
I don't know.
Someday in
Those
the
are
future.
Fridays.
I get confused by next Saturday.
Yeah, me
This
too.
coming Saturday is this Saturday.
Right, and next
Next
Saturday is
Saturday.
next
It's a
Saturday.
week from now.
Did they give
Yeah.
you a date?
No, it just says that it's next Saturday in Fitchburg, and tickets are still available. They're showing Finding Dory.
Well, it comes out the 17th.
That's next Saturday,
So
yeah.
it's got to
Then
be
it's a
next.
week from this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
And you can get information on the New England Disney Facebook page. This is all to give money or raise money for Give Kids the World, or they've gotten the movie theater to donate space, and there'll be other things going on. There always is. Also, they're also running that weekend a charity scavenger hunt on Sunday the 24th.
The weekend of our mega meet, of our 10th anniversary.
Our mega meet, and it's going to all be done around the monorail. Families are welcome. There are teams available. You can do it individually and join a team. I know that John and I are doing it. A bunch of people are doing it.
We should have shirts made up that says, "I beat Kevin and John at the scavenger hunt." Because you know we're not going to win it. You know we're going to find a cool place to
he's
stay.
looking at you like, oh, that's what you think.
No, we've got some folks that are participating who are very competitive.
You're just gonna tag on to their team.
No, and then there are people,
we
and
made
I'm
them
going to
make their
call
own
her
team.
out. There's people like Christy Holland. Christy Holland and I will find a place near the gift shop and sit and watch the other people run around. So, Christy, I'm with you. I only called you out because we understand each other. But there's going to be lots going on that weekend. So, if you want to go see Finding Dory, the best way to do it with your family is raise money for Give Kids the World, and that's Saturday the 17th.
Now, I'm probably going to get something thrown at me. But if you cannot make our 10th anniversary weekend of wonder, don't despair. Don't despair. But if I were you, I would keep the first week of June open next year. Anybody figure out why?
Is it because
My first child turns 20.
What?
Wow, the
The
Diz.
Diz will be
Oh.
20 years
Wow.
old
Sorry.
next June
I'm
1st.
like, you have a child we didn't know about?
That I had a child I didn't know
I was
about.
just gonna say he might not know about it.
But yeah, the Diz is going to be. We have to do something.
Sure,
So,
sure. Why not?
site that started it all.
Yeah.
That is true. We should definitely do something.
You know, 20th and 20 years we've been doing this. 20 years.
So we've been doing the podcast half as long as the Diz been alive.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's incredible. It's incredible that, the other day I thought, we've been doing this for 10 years, and none of us thought this was going to last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And here we are. Here we are. So, okay. With that, anything else for housekeeping?
I'll just add that in addition to the auction items, we have the Give Kids the World wish list of items that they can always use. So we'll have like a container there that if you want to bring some of the items, and that's up on the Diz board. I think it's a separate thread, but I'll bump it again. So if you want to bring like batteries or CDs or cameras, there's a whole list of.
We'll just make sure Craig gets a
Can
link
we-
and we
Yeah.
can put it in the show
Poor
notes.
Kathy. Her whole face is blocked by this thing. I mean, look at her shot.
Which way do I need to go?
I just know it's the microphone. I mean,
Could you
like
be
it's like
taller?
a big square.
I
There we
could
go.
try. And Teresa and I are going to the Give Kids the World meet up in Nova Scotia this weekend. So
Oh, that's
if you're
right.
in the
Fun.
Halifax area, stop by and see us and bid and spend lots of money.
I just want you to know we were watching Jeopardy last week, and there was a question about the Halifax explosion.
Oh, yeah?
And this factory where the window was blown out and they haven't replaced it because it's sort of this little monument kind of thing. And we both knew the answer because we took the tour.
Awesome.
Let's not bring that up. All right. Thank you, Kathy. Anything else for housekeeping? Going once? Going
Oh, one more thing. There's still space available on our October 23rd through the 28th Backstage Magic. There's only a couple spaces left. I've got a couple of people with feelers out there. If you think you want to go trick or treat in Halloween or at Disneyland, watch Craig's video and imagine doing that with Candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell Candy we told us that she was going to go.
Really, Candy doesn't know.
All right. And we'll turn it over to Johnny with the news.
All right, our first news story. Disney Vacation Club member creates website to air his
This
grievances.
is brilliant. Okay? This is brilliant.
A disgruntled Disney Vacation Club owner is making his feelings known via a new website directed at Ken Potrock, the club's senior vice president and general manager. Back in April, DVC took away some of the membership extras, perks for those buying DVC contracts through resale. Those owners will no longer get discounts on shopping, dining, annual passes, or access to members-only events. Other perks that have been removed in recent years for those owners were the ability to use points to book Disney cruises, Adventures by Disney trips, or stays at the Concierge Collection hotels. Timothy D'Alessandro was upset about these changes, so he created the website www.kenpotrock.com, using the site to post his feelings on the matter. He wrote, quote, "I am deeply distressed by your recent 4/4/2016 changes to our club. You have effectively created the second-class purchasers. The changes do not affect D'Alessandro personally, as he purchased his membership previously, but he says, quote, it's the principle. He says they have to look at the bigger picture. Even a resale buyer is making a phenomenal commitment to Disney. If you are a new resale member, you are not a member of the club. He paid $10 for the website and is planning to take it down in a few months once he's gained the attention of Potrock. He said he has not yet received a response from Disney."
I agree with him.
You know, I initially my feelings on this were, you know what, people who pay more should get more. But I've talked to some people over the last 2 months now since they did this, and I'm starting to feel like, yeah, this might be unfair. This just might be unfair.
Their dues don't go down. They still have maintenance fees the same as everybody else, no matter what you paid for your point. What about people who inherit points? They didn't pay anything.
Right.
There's also the idea that this is a retail, can't think of the right word, real estate interest, that you're buying actual real estate, a portion of a whole. So if that's the case, if I paid less for my house than the original purchaser did, what difference does it make?
Does it mean I have less rights to the land?
Exactly.
Well, it's because we're about to talk about something in the next news story that kind of goes to this. We keep talking about the money grabs. We keep hearing about the money grabs. Disney doing this, Disney doing that. On some of this stuff, like the after hours event or the early morning event, I think that's fine. I love the after hours event. I'm sorry it went away. I think it was absolutely worth what they were charging for it. I did it twice, so I put my money where my mouth is. On some of this stuff, though, it's taking stuff away.
I was just going to say, when you're getting something extra,
right? That's one thing.
If you pay more for more, that's great. But they already get perks for buying from Disney. You get to book 11 months out, where people who buy secondhand or resale don't. You have to buy 7. You can book 7 months out.
Depending on the resort you
Depending
get.
on your resort. I think to myself, you are taking something away.
Well,
now.
what they're trying to do is they are trying to put a dent. I think the resale market has hurt them because people are saying, why should I spend $170 a point on Disney Vacation Club when I can go on the resale market and find it sometimes for half that?
If you read his whole page, he did a really good breakdown of DVC pricing during a promotion that they ran. And he showed that they had a 60% increase in sales when they lowered their price just by like $10 or $15 a point for this promotion. And he said that's what's hurting the sale. What's hurting the sale is the price per point, not the resale market. Look at what happens when you bring it to a point where people think it's reasonable.
Right. And so I think that this is, a very, otherwise if he sends a letter, it just it goes into a pile. Let's be honest. It goes into a pile. Ken Potrock's not going to read that. I will guarantee you Ken Potrock has read this. I will guarantee you. And
this is peaceful protest.
Whether or not, and it's respectful. It's not.
Right.
It's not hateful.
Right.
It's not.
He hasn't set up a comment section where people
No.
can trash anybody.
No, this is all just he has something, a message he wants to get across. He's doing it in a respectful way. He's not it's not an ad hominem attack. It's not a personal attack. It's nothing
I
like
bet
that.
this isn't the first one we've seen, and now I bet people are going out and buying their own websites.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want their name taken.
I think this, but I thought this was a classy way to do it and a very unique way to make sure you got your point across.
He is very well spoken.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. So it's www.kenpotrock.com is the website. Go check it out. And he really does. He does a great job breaking down what his feelings about
And you
this
don't
are.
have to agree with it, but it's good to read.
It is, and I don't think it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to change anything. But I will guarantee you have gotten Disney's attention, Mr. D'Alessandro, and good job. So now, talking more about.
I don't mean to belabor the point, but I was reading CNN Online today, and this story has reached the national news.
Has it? What the Ken Potrock story? Yeah, but I didn't think this next one does. But it's certainly a big deal for Disney fans. This next news story.
3 popular Disney character dining experiences might be getting a price increase. It appears several character dining experiences at Walt Disney World may have gone up in the number of Disney dining plan credits required to book them. Chef Mickey's, Akershus, and Tusker House were listed as 2 credit meals instead of the 1 credit that was previously listed. Chef Mickey's listed 1 credit for lunch and 2 credits for dinner, and the others listed 2 credits for both lunch and dinner. Some posters online are reporting that when they called and asked Disney about it, they were told it is a complete computer glitch and the restaurants will remain 1 credit meals, but it's unclear whether that is actually the case or not. It's also being reported that pricing may be going up to as much as $59.99 for all 3 restaurants beginning October 2nd.
Right.
Prices at the Disney restaurants generally change seasonally, so depending on the date, the range now appears to be $35 to $59.99. Presumably people who had booked these restaurants at the previous price will have that price honored, but that remains to be seen.
I doubt it, but here's what's happening. That was not a glitch in their system. They are loading it in because in October, not just these 3, every buffet restaurant at Walt Disney World is going to this new pricing. It's going to go from an average of $42 for a buffet to $60. It's a 48% price increase. Now, I want anybody to look me in the eye and tell me, with maybe a couple of exceptions, and even there it's a stretch, that there is any buffet at Disney World serving food that warrants $60 a person.
No.
You are approaching prices now for restaurants for 4 and 5 star restaurants.
Bull and Bear you can go to Bull and Bear for less.
Exactly. Oliver and I on our theme park day last week had lunch at the new, lunch. It was actually a dinner, but it was at lunchtime at Tiffin's, and we paid $72 a person there. But we had appetizer, main course, dessert, couple different things, and it was exquisite. It was fantastic. I got to tell you, Chef Mickey's tries to charge me $60. I'm gonna burn the place to the ground. So this now, look, I think I've been, especially lately, very fair in, almost defending Disney for some of the things that they've been doing that people are talking about being a money grab. This is coming. This is ridiculous. I mean, really, can anybody in this room right now, we're all very experienced with Disney and dining and buffet meals, can anybody tell me that there is a buffet right now at Walt Disney World that is worth $60?
No.
Is this now going to be, what's the child price going to be? Do we know?
It was like $39.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
No child eats $39
So
worth
a
of food.
family of 4 will be $200 for
To
Chef
share
Mickey's.
germs with other people.
Yeah, $200 to $250 depending.
Oh.
If they're over 9,
I was going to say, well, yeah, that's true too. I was thinking
And
around it.
so that whatever meals, whether it's lunch, dinner, breakfast, it's not going to be breakfast. It'll be lunch,
Right.
lunch and or dinner. Will go up to this new pricing, and that's when the 2 table service credit's going to kick
Right.
in. So basically, that crappy dinner you had at Chef Mickey's is the same number of table service credits as, I don't know, California Grill,
Jico,
Jico.
Narcoosseous.
The list goes on. And so here you go, Disney. This is what you want to do? Fine. Improve the damn food. Because your buffet food pretty much sucks. I'll tell you what. Why don't you fly some people out to Disneyland and go taste what they're putting on buffets? And then see if they'll share the damn recipe with you and how to do it. Because $60 for some of that crap they're floating around, horrible.
Again, this goes back to the money grab. It's different when they're selling you something extra. After hour parties, you're paying for it, and you have a right. Don't go. You're not getting anything extra for this 48%
No.
increase.
It also feels like this is such a big difference. It's not a 10% increase. It's not incremental. I know we're upset about the ticket prices. Those are incremental increases. This is, almost
50%.
50%, yeah. This is a tremendous increase in price.
And we have this from it hasn't been published yet. We have this from a very good source, that these are the prices. And I'm certain of it. I'm certain that in October, this is what we're going to see. And I hope that when it happens, that the outcry, that it just is, let this be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and people just stop booking them.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
Couple of
something?
days of an empty buffet.
Well, you know what? They started getting a taste of it with the after hours event at $150. Too many people said no, they couldn't sustain it.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's going to happen with this. I really hope people, just on principle, say, no, you know what? Yeah, I love my kids, and I want to see my kids have these experiences with the characters. Not at this price, though.
Right.
Not at this price.
There are other character meet and greets that you can
Right.
do that are not
Exactly.
a buffet.
Exactly. So I'm very interested to see.
And I think $60 for 1900 Park Fair.
Can you imagine?
I would pay $60 not to go.
Especially 1900.
So
Park Fair.
loud in there
And just the food is
and
so bad.
chaotic, and the food is usually not great.
It's high school cafeteria food. And that's insulting to high school
I was
cafeteria.
about to say, I really enjoyed my cafeteria in high school.
So, this next story that John's about to read, I think there needs to be an etiquette guide for
The whole
Disney
world?
executives. No, for Disney executives. Like, it's rude to charge $60 and serve someone crap. So we'll let you go on to that story because I
All
think
right.
this is hysterical.
Our third news story. Chinese government releases etiquette guide in an effort to keep Shanghai Disneyland clean. After the mess tourists have made of the yet unopened Shanghai Disneyland, the Chinese government has stepped in with an etiquette guide for the park's visitors. The etiquette guide was created by the city's Civilization Office and
They need a
Tourism
civilization office.
and Tourism Board. The guide lays out 6 rules to keep the issue from resurfacing and to keep a, quote, good international image for the country. The rules are throw garbage in trash cans, protect public property, don't damage flowers or gardens, don't lay down on the grass, don't jump queues, and maintain overall decorum.
Now, right now on the screen is a picture that was viral around the internet about, you see this woman, and if you can make it out, there's a little kid there squatting. This kid is taking a dump in the flower bed.
That falls under the general decorum rule.
Or, it falls under don't damage the flowers or gardens.
This is very
That's
cultural.
fertilizer, Pete.
So I'm very excited to go to Shanghai next year
too.
and see it. The first Chinese person I see dumping in the flower bed, I'm out.
This is very cultural. A lot of China is still very, very rural and very
They don't have
not
toilets.
right. They don't have toilets and
understand.
they don't have diapers on their kids. Most clothes in the rural part of China for children young are actually built with a slit in the back because that's how you do it. It's just they're taught to just.
Well, I applaud the convenience.
Well,
but
they don't have diapers, so it's a very cultural thing,
I get
and
it. I get it.
You know, and if that's what you know to do.
Don't be going in somebody else's bushes.
Well,
though.
one of the perks of being
to your
an
own.
American is we get to laugh at things like this.
Oh, man.
Why can't they just fashion some sort of cloth diaper
Yeah.
that can be washed?
That makes sense.
Because they don't even understand the concept of diapers. Diapers are so foreign. Toilets are foreign.
Right.
The idea that this young
Well,
child was
I think
told,
this is in the rural areas. I don't know how many
right,
of
right.
these people are really going to Shanghai Disneyland. I mean, I'm imagining Shanghai is a major city. I mean, there are major cities that, these apartments have bathrooms. These houses have bathrooms. Maybe not out in the fields or, out in the rural areas. But I got to imagine that.
Well, that's a lot of the big controversy right now with Shanghai Disneyland is that Disney has been kind of going a little harsh on the LA Times because they've been reporting about how Chinese locals are saying that the food prices are too high, which we look at them and they're typical for what we would pay at our parks, but apparently for the Chinese they're too high, as well as even the price to get in, which is in American, I think it's only $76. But they're saying even for their middle class, that's too much money. So, yeah.
That's right. And the LA Times, one reporter in particular, has been reporting on this pretty regularly in the LA Times and had his invitation to the premiere of the new Frozen show at California Adventure revoked. They called him up and said, "You've been uninvited." Because
That's like a Mean Girls kind of thing.
yeah.
Don't you remember when Disneyland Paris? I'm old enough to remember when Disneyland Paris opened, and don't you remember that was maybe not pooping in the flowers, but the people in France were like, "What is this crap?" And Disneyland Paris wasn't very well received either. As a matter of fact, for the first couple of years, they thought it was abject failure. So
Oh, it still struggles to make any money.
Right.
That park still isn't doing well.
This, I think, is a form of colonization, and they're going to have some growing pains. Disney's trying to take over the world, and I think when you build there's a culture difference, and I think that's going to be.
Well,
a
you
big
would
part
have
of it.
imagined that some of this would have been thought about.
Yeah.
Before
that was
time?
the part
Well,
I
maybe
mean, the
they're-
culture isn't new. It's not like this. Somebody sprung this on Disney. I mean,
Right,
it's
but
Supposedly, this is what Disney does, right? We know about this from Alani and from other places where Disney supposedly goes in and understands the culture. Tokyo is an example,
see, but Olani, they got it right.
right? Where they go in and they try to make sure that it's culturally sensitive and accessible.
I also believe
Someone
the
didn't think of
Chinese
this.
people don't think Shanghai Disney is Chinese enough. That's what I've read. That the people think it's kind of a slapdash version of Chinese. So, and I don't know that that's. I think the reasons I've read is it's a more cultural thing that not everybody sees things the way we do. So,
Did you read the story about the Chinese billionaire who has theme
Yeah.
parks?
who's building Wanda Park or something?
He's
Yeah.
building something crazy.
I read this and I kept thinking, I've never heard of.
However,
Wanda Park.
he's pretty much come out and told Disney that what you're doing is completely and totally wrong for the Chinese
Right,
people.
but he has a vested
Competing.
interest in that. I
Right,
mean,
he has
that's
competing companies.
he's
but
like
he-
building the Chinese version of Six Flags.
right, and he has multiple of them. But who knows? Maybe something will happen, and this will create a cultural shift in the country. We're talking about a communist country, so we're talking about a country that's now going to be exposed to abject capitalism.
And apparently, for all the censorship they do of the internet in China, apparently things like this going viral around the rest of the world does get the attention of somebody over there,
Right.
because they don't like the way they're being made to look.
What did you find out about it? We talked about how are we going to work over there?
I
They
just-
censor the internet.
There's no there's no Twitter in China.
There's no Facebook.
I don't know.
The internet's locked down. So
So when we're there, we might not be heard from.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
especially after this
we hope you're
conversation, we may never be heard from
We
again.
might not get invited back.
Might not be allowed in.
if that's the case, I'm pooping in all the flower beds.
Let me show you how it's done.
Okay, here's the deal. You're never going to be able to unsee that now.
All right, that'll do it for the news.
All right, thank you, John. Let's go ahead and move on to Roundtable Rapid Fire. We'll start with you.
All right, I actually think this speaks to the conversation about the pricing going up at the restaurants. Walt Disney World's summer booking discounts have extended their book by date to July 8th, 2016. This is across the board for Awaken Summer, Kid Size Package promotion. All of these promotions that came out that cover summer months, they've now extended the booking window one more week. A little bit more, actually. I think it's 9 days. So I think that's pretty significant and telling of what Disney's summer is like. So we talk about tipping points and we talk about pricing for restaurant tipping points. We may have seen it for resorts.
Okay.
However, good for you if you're going to go. Take advantage of that discount.
Absolutely. Good discounts this summer.
Exactly.
All right, Kevin.
Dooney Bourke is releasing MagicBands. There's 3 different versions. They're supposed to be out sometime this summer. They're going to be the guess is that there's going to be they're going to be $48 a piece. There's a gray mini parts. I don't know what it's called.
Mini parts.
Minnie Mouse Downtown. Then there's a white one with Mickey and park icons. This little short
Oh,
article
you're
became
getting very Bob Varley over here.
Yes, I know. This little mini article became like 9 pages, and this is what I've pulled
Because
out of
Kevin doesn't know how to do print one page. He does print all, and all of a sudden it's
Disney
spitting out
Anna,
a printer.
body parts, and Mickey and Minnie.
Body parts.
That's what it's called.
It
body parts.
is, and if you look at it,
This
it's
one's
literally
called
body parts.
The gray one,
Her
It's called
feet,
body
her
parts.
hands,
Okay.
her bow,
body
her,
parts.
her stomach.
And then there is
It's her thumb.
there's Disney Anna and Mickey and Minnie go to the zoo. Mickey and Minnie Mouse Downtown. They're all getting their own magic bands. These are going to be limited to 1,500, they think, for each design. They'll come in their own stylish box.
So you can keep it there after it dies.
And it will have a slider that says Dooney and Bourke. There you go.
And these will be available in the parks and Disney Store online.
Yes. And we think they're going to be $48.
All right.
And I have to give the Disney Fashion blog credit for that. because that's where I got the information.
And is that DisneyFashionBlog.com?
I don't know. Hang on.
I think it's DisneyFashionista.com.
It's all right. We'll wait. Nothing
It's not
better
like
to
you have
do.
something better to do. I don't know.
Seriously, Bob is living inside of him. I think.
DisneyFashionista.com.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Kathy.
Okay, mine is the ESPN Club on the Boardwalk is now offering limited reservations. Before it was just a walk-up, and now they're offering reservations for lunch Monday through Friday. Walk-up with first come, first served is the only option for Saturday and Sunday, and daily for dinner. Lunch is served from 11:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So,
You can see the joy in your face, Kathy.
yeah, it's like, did they see a need for that?
Oh, that place is crazy. I won't ever go there. Not during a sporting event.
Yeah, it's
Much less.
crazy,
I
man.
mean, why would I go there? So in the same vein, advanced dining reservations are now also being accepted at Magic Kingdom Skipper Canteen. When it first opened, dining was strictly walk-up, but then they changed shortly after to allow same-day reservations, and now they'll be accepting reservations 180 days in advance, just like any other restaurant on property.
Which makes me very sad.
A credit card is
Yeah.
required to hold the reservation at time of booking, and standard cancellation policies will apply.
It makes me very sad. I was really hoping that this test would work.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was. It was a test to see if they could open a new restaurant and not take reservations. And just people walk up. If there's a table, you get it. If not, wait like any other restaurant.
I went Saturday. Walked up, but I saw the sign up, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" Because when I saw it on the counter, I was like, "Oh man, I guess we're not going to be able to eat here because the sign is up here." But it wasn't busy in the morning, so Eli and I ate there.
What did the sign say?
It said,
ADRs required.
I was going to say something inappropriate, but
Now accepting advanced dining reservations. Is that what the sign said?
yeah, it said something about the dining reservation on the counter about if you have it, whatever it was. I was going to say I went during gay days, so it said no gays, so we couldn't go, but we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Good thing
there's
you didn't
that.
go for inappropriate.
Next time, follow your gut on that.
Nah.
All right.
Your
Thank you,
instincts were
Julie.
good.
Rhino.
So mine is about some Finding Dory merchandise that you can find now. So guests can find toys, backpacks that resemble this octopus Hank that they love.
He's a septopus.
Excuse me. And it said the octopus on the Disney Parks blog.
He
Yeah,
has
that's why I
7
read
legs.
He has one of his legs missing, so he's a septopus.
That's sad.
that. Spoiler alert. Jeez.
They've been talking
And,
about
yeah, I
it
was about to
for
say
a
everybody
year.
knows right now.
You
everybody.
can find plush, ceramic mugs, Disney pins, all that jazz. And starting on the 17th, guests will be able to create customized phone cases with the new character artwork at DTech On Demand at wherever those are located. And then if you are visiting Alani or sailing on the Disney Cruise Line, you can find a specially designed Finding Dory themed. It just says this sentence was worded terribly. Specially designed Finding Dory themed products by Trina Turk.
I know who that is.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wasn't sure, but they showed a photo and it looked
Good old
cute.
Trina.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing
We
too
were in the
exciting.
Disney store at downtown Disney
Disney
Springs the other day, and when you first walked in, that's all they had was Finding Dory
Finding Dory.
Giant
merchandise.
room of Finding
I didn't
Dory
count
stuff.
the octopus's legs, but it was rooms and rooms of it.
And they have it out at the airport too. So if you're coming into Orlando, you can buy your souvenirs right there at the airport.
Wow.
I love when Kathy
Why did you cut to me?
Whenever there's a lull and I don't know who's going to speak.
Because he
Just
thinks
goes
you're the
to
one
you.
who might be
Default to
buying
me.
your family souvenirs at the airport.
Oh, shoot. I was so disinterested in the whole thing. I was sitting here thinking about what I'm doing for dinner tonight.
And who the heck is Trina Turk?
So, okay. Craig?
Okay, I was going to talk about the dining package coming to Tony's Town Square with Main Street Electrical
Oh, please do.
Parade.
Give me something else to yell about.
I'm not going to do it. It's $45 for a 3-course meal and a reserve spot, so we won't go there.
A reserve spot for the Main Street Electrical
Yes,
Parade?
because
Yes.
you need one now. You don't.
You get Chef Boyardee in a spot on the curb?
They just- well, because you're going to feel like
I
you're...
was just going to say.
Yeah, because you're going to be eating like the homeless at a soup
okay.
kitchen, so you might as well sit on the curb afterwards.
Here's your tin can sauce. Sit down. It's very Brooklyn.
So, a new premium evening safari experience is coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's called Savor the Savannah. It's a
Why do you
premium-
have to say it like?
Savannah.
Because everyone
Because
has
of
to say it in
Savannah.
a southern drawl
Savannah.
for Savannah.
Murder. Savannah.
It's a
It's a different Savannah.
Yeah.
Completely different.
It's a premium evening safari experience that starts on June 26th. It's $169 per guest.
You have to eat at
Minimum-
Tony's.
Minimum age of 8 years old. So basically, a group up to 12 people will ride in their own private safari vehicle. And they will receive an African-inspired tapas menu with regional beverages.
While you're
with-
in the vehicle?
Probably. Just
No,
to get
they
it all
take
over
you
the
out to
place.
that little
That'll
hut
be fun.
that's by where that picture was taken.
Oh, yeah.
And you will get to beer, wine, specialty drinks, and yeah, you'll do all this on your private viewing area of the Savannah.
Remember when Animal Kingdom first opened and they came out and said they weren't going to stay open at night for the sake of the animals, that kind of crowd, because a lot of the animals were nocturnal and this would aggravate them and upset them. And
That's out the window.
apparently they don't give a rat's butt anymore about the animals and how they feel.
Well, the tapas is actually the things they've killed on the drive. The nighttime safari.
I just think I remember this whole spiel about how this was not a zoo and they weren't going to be open at night because it would upset the animals and there were never going to be
Yeah, well,
fireworks.
then-
Pretty soon there's going to be
Then they shut
cannons.
down all but 2 attractions at Hollywood Studios. I got to do something.
I think to myself, do they think we don't remember this stuff?
Pretty much.
Okay, but I do.
'Cause that was 98.
Right.
You know? So,
Say that price again
$169
per person
for tapas.
for
Tapas.
up to 12 people in one of those things.
You're basically paying for a survivor.
I will
reward.
tell you this. I have done the like the VIP safaris before. They're very cool. They're very, very cool, and you get some amazing photos. But then again, this is being done at night, so
But they said they have a photographer on the
Oh,
the
sorry,
truck.
yeah.
And
And the
he'll
yeah.
GoPros.
But 99 times out of 100, I take much better pictures than
Oh.
they do.
yeah,
So do
I
you.
agree with you.
Well,
Yeah.
and
So-
they're not going to be able to use flash because they can't use flash at night with the animals on the safari.
Maybe they have a night vision camera.
Who are you
can
talking
take
to?
pictures at night.
Why do you have
Somebody?
the phone up to you?
Hello?
It's
really.
backwards, by the way.
I'm just
Talking
leaning
to
on it.
ET.
That's very modern day Jack Benny.
Well, let me tell you about the safari.
Take my wife, please.
That's Benny. That's
George Burns.
no. Take my wife, please. Oh my God, what's his name? It wasn't Jack Benny. That was
George Burns.
No, I can't think of it.
Borat.
Somebody will tell us. It wasn't Jack Benny. It was.
I so don't care.
Remember how you didn't care about the Finding Dory stuff?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, thank you, Craig. And that actually, I think, is unless we have something else we want to talk about.
Man.
Tell the story about your nephew waiting in line at. It was actually pretty funny.
We had a house guest he left Friday. He was here for 10 days. He is my cousin's son. So in reality, he is my first cousin once removed, according to the internet. But he's 30 years younger than I am.
He's your nephew.
He called me Uncle Kevin since he was born, so I call him my nephew. He's my cousin nephew. Nick was here.
Very southern.
It is. He's my cousin nephew. He's my first cousin once removed, but he's 30 years younger than I am. So,
It's not like husband wife.
or cousin sister. John bought him a 5-day ticket, and he made quite a use out of this ticket. He got his money's worth out of this 5-day park hopper. Well, he rode the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Now, he hasn't been here in probably 6 years, where he could just run around and do what he wanted. And he got in line and saw the Voyage of the Little Mermaid and thought it was great. Well, then he found Ariel's Grotto, and he thought it was another ride. And he said all of a sudden he waited in line for like 20 minutes, and everybody was looking at him funny. But he said he was the only 6'4" guy in a line full of young girls. And some father finally came up and said to him, "Do you know what you're in line for?" And he said, "Is this a ride?" He goes, "No, it's a meet and greet for Ariel." He said he's never been so embarrassed. He had to go all the way back through the line. Excuse me.
So the joke all week was, what did you wait in line for now?
Who else did you wait in line to creep out?
But he enjoyed it.
He had a great time.
Such a good time.
And then I took him to, I had never been to the Kissimmee train station. Remember Green Acres in Hooterville?
Yeah.
The Kissimmee train station is not as big as this room. And it was made in like the 1800s and it still looks exactly the same. So I put him on a train and he went to Fort Lauderdale to meet his family and they're going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. So he's had a very good month of May and June.
I will say this is his first time being here since my Disney experience, and he loved it.
Oh,
did.
really?
He thought it was
He
the
took
best
to it
thing
like
ever.
duck in water.
He thought he was making reservations on the fly, and he was changing stuff, and like he would go, but by himself, he could go from park to park,
Yeah.
and do stuff.
And he's
he
20.
loved it. Oh my god!
So he had way more energy than the rest of us.
Yeah.
However, he said to me, does it always get this hot in Florida?
I don't know. Am I the only one? I think it's been beautiful.
Oh
Yes.
my God!
Oh,
Saturday
God.
was horrible.
Up until a week ago tomorrow, Wednesday, we went out Wednesday,
So
and all
what
of a
time
sudden
you
it
go?
was, you thought, okay, summer's here. The humidity was high, the temperature was high. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday were really warm.
See, and I was in Animal Kingdom last Wednesday, and I
it's
was
so much cooler there.
Very comfortable. I don't know what. Maybe it's the weight loss. I don't know. But I'm like, okay,
Well, he had a great time. He really enjoyed it.
awesome. All right, well, that is going to do it for our show this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next time with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Thanks for being with us, everyone, and remember, go to Disneyland and stay out of the damn lakes, and don't pay $60 for a buffet.